Hi, I'm Andreas Maurer and I'd like to introduce another two conversion stories of a Christian and a Muslim. These conversion stories are based on my doctoral thesis at UNISA, University of South Africa. I completed my thesis in March 1999. The title of my thesis is In Search of a New Life, Conversion Motives of Christians and Muslims. If you want to know more about the research concept of my thesis, please refer to the introductory video here or in the description below. Please note that these stories are true and I know each person personally. For the sake of security, I have changed their names. First, I like to share the life of a Christian who converted to Islam for different reasons. His name is Peter, and he related his conversion story as follows. I grew up in a traditional Christian home, and I went to the local church regularly. As I grew up, I searched for meaning in life, and I also asked questions of Christian people. I thought that religion should give me direction in my life. I became active in the church. My parents sent me to a church school since they believed it would give me the best education. However, I never really understood some things, and the church leaders could not give me satisfactory answers. These were things such as the Trinity or how to relate to God and Christ. One day a Muslim came to our house and brought some tapes where a Muslim leader spoke about Christianity and Islam. He showed some mistakes in Christianity and highlighted the superiority of Islam. At first, I did not understand much, and I became uncertain about which religion I should follow. To hide and evade my uncertainty, I got even more involved in the church activities. I joined the church choir, got involved in youth ministry, etc. I even made a new commitment to Jesus. Then I saw a film on TV about a Muslim leader and I was very impressed with his lifestyle. Though the media often portrayed Muslims as terrorists, nevertheless, I became more and more interested in Islam. Once at the camp, I met a young Muslim lady and I was very impressed with her. She was very polite and her manners were beautiful. Her lifestyle attracted me even more to Islam. A little time later, I just decided to become a Muslim. Although I did not yet understand much about this religion. I went to a mosque nearby and the leader told me more about the teaching of Islam. One of the Muslims became my very special friend and teacher. Yet I had some more problems. I loved Islam, but I still wanted to have Christ in my life. Also, my parents were not happy about my new religion, Islam. In addition, at school, they ridiculed me for being a Muslim. Through all these processes, I became more convinced that Islam is the right faith for me and I should follow this way and fulfill my duties. Now, dear friends, let us briefly analyze the conversion motives of this Christian named Peter, who became a Muslim. We can identify two motives which were interactive in his conversion process. First, the religious motive was in operation from the beginning. The crisis of not finding adequate answers concerning certain Christian teaching started the conversion process. Peter felt compelled to look for an alternative religion which he found in Islam. The increased knowledge about Islam appears to have been very attractive and eventually Peter decided to become a Muslim. Secondly, The affectional motive was in operation for quite some time. First, the moral example of the young Muslim lady impressed Peter. Secondly, the interpersonal bond in which his personal teacher became a close friend. These close personal relationships contributed heavily to Peter's life to convert to Islam. Now, let us listen to another story, the story of Fatimah, who converted to Christianity. She said her conversion story as follows. I was a staunch Muslim. I used to go to madrasa as well as all the other Muslim people. My father was very strict and he believed that we had to follow the Islamic religion very strictly and conduct all rituals, in the sense that everything had to be done according to the Quran. Initially, that was fine with me. I accepted it until I got married. I married a non-Muslim. He was a Tamil. And I said to him, I didn't want to convert to Hinduism. I didn't believe in all the gods they have and the images. Islam had taught me that God is one and he can't be in any image. My husband agreed with that, and at that stage he did not pressurize me to become a Hindu. Initially, he would go to the temple and I would just pray as a Muslim at home. We women do not need to go to the mosque. But I knew that I was not being a true Muslim because my way of life was not completely Islamic. My father would be upset with me if I converted to Hinduism. But he was also open in the respect that he said that we should always respect other people's religions. Then my father died, and this caused a crisis in my life. Soon thereafter, I met some Christian people and they shared with me about God in the Bible and taught me about Christianity. The Christians visited me at home and my husband was not against it, but he also did not partake in the discussions. I had many questions and I learned more and more about the Bible and its message. I liked the Christian people. They were very friendly and we became friends. With time, I became more and more interested in the Christian faith. Soon thereafter, my husband was murdered and I was alone with my 2 young children. It was very tragic and I had a big crisis in my life. Unfortunately, neither my Muslim family nor my Hindu relatives helped me. Only the Christians came and helped me spiritually and in practical ways. After the funeral of my husband, the Hindu family came and demanded that my children will be raised as Hindus. In addition, my Muslim family came too and pressurized me to raise my children in the Islamic tradition. I was much confused and I did not understand the Islamic nor the Hindu religion. There were many different strange rituals which did not make sense to me. The only faith which made sense to me was the Christian religion, since from this side I was loved and received care for my children and myself. So I decided to become a Christian and I started to go to church with my 2 young children. We were very happy to be Christians and gradually we learned more about Jesus and how to follow him, Jesus being the way and the truth. Now, dear friends, let us analyze the conversion motives of this Muslim lady named Fatimah, who became a Christian. We can identify 2 motives which were interactive in her life. First, the affectional motive. The death of her father appears as being the initial motive. It caused a crisis in her life and it pushed her to find answers to spiritual issues. In addition, the same motive, affection, was at work concerning her meeting with Christian people. The loving care, the warmth of their friendship pulled her towards Christianity. Secondly, the religious motive. Fatima was caught between the two religions. Remember, she came from a Muslim family and her husband was a Hindu. The rituals and traditions in these two religions were always a problem for Fatima, and she did not like them and they did not make sense to her. Both religions did not seem right for her. After studying Christianity with her Christian friends, she was convinced that this was the right religion for her and her children. We can see that people convert in both directions to Christianity and Islam. Of course, I personally believe that the Christian faith is the true faith, and often I'm sad when I see Christians leaving their faith and turning to Islam. But I also believe that we should give all people the personal freedom to choose their religion, which seems right for them. I'm also convinced that Christians should assist converts in their conversion process without using force or any kind of pressure. In this conversion story, we can observe that Fatima was pressurized from the Muslim and Hindu family to remain faithful to their respective religion. On the other hand, the Bible calls Christians to exercise love in every situation. See, for instance, the following references: John 13 verse 34, John 15 verse 12, 1 John chapter 4 verses 7 and 21, or 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verses 4 to 7. If you want to learn more about how to witness to a Muslim as a Christian, I recommend my book, Ask Your Muslim Friend. You may download it from our website. Please subscribe to our lectures and acquire our literature. If you have any questions or would like me to do a lecture on a certain topic, write them in the comment section. See you soon again. Good day and God bless you.